weird way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophy. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, I'm on my weird way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophies. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, killing my verses, living my purpose. Yeah, healing my burdens, giving my service. Yeah, I had to pray, I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot, I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe.
Yo, what's up and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, streaming live on GorillaCross.com. UnnamedSportsShow.com.
It's been that kind of
we
a week.
actually have a .com. We just,
yeah.
I think it's just going to the Facebook page.
Okay.
Oh no.
Right.
But anyways, I'm your host Quan59. We have a dope, amazing show for you today because it is NFL kickoff today, folks.
Yes.
And we are super excited about that. So we're going to be giving predictions of tonight's game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Super Bowl champions of last year, against not America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Tonight, that's going to be a fun game to watch, and we'll give our thoughts about that game and thoughts on the whole season. So we're going to give our predictions, and at the end of the year, of course, we'll go back and revisit our predictions. I'm close a lot, but last year I was way off. A lot of injuries,
last
COVID.
Last year was COVID. Last year, no fans, COVID. You know, Quanstradamus is allowed to have a weak strike rate.
Yeah, once in a while. So just in time, Josh in the building wearing the bright yellow to match the everything, the logo.
Well, I finally made it to my first Lights game. The lights are trash.
You went last night?
No,
okay.
I went on Sunday.
All right.
And it was a great experience. It might
have been your first and last.
I would go back. I would go back.
I'm not saying you might not have an opportunity to go back. I'm not sure if they're going to last.
Really?
There was like 200 people there last night.
Oh, well, see, no. When I went, there was, I'd say, close to 1,000. But the energy, it was cool to see, the Mexican side of Vegas have something, from mariachi bands to the chants and really, really getting the crowd into it. That side of it was dope. You know, they're popping off smoke grenades, the whole deal. So that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the team isn't very good. I will say Bojo, our guy Bojo from 100.5, Q 100.5. He is our version of DJ Khaled.
Okay.
That man
he
works
does good,
hard.
man. He's everywhere. He's
everywhere.
You know, doing lights, doing aces. You know, he does a lot. I'm not sure if he does aces. Every once in a while, he's there.
He does aces.
He does not regularly.
No. Okay.
But you know, he's always at UNLV games.
Yeah.
He's doing the Silver Knights games and stuff like that.
I didn't know he's doing the Silver Knights too.
Doing a lot of stuff. So
shout out to
everybody. If you guys are watching live, please share the live video stream with your people and chime in with us today, folks. We want to hear what you have to say about the NFL season and everything else that we're going to be talking about today right here live on the show. Shout out to Peace 586 for the beats. New beat tape out now. Go to Bandcamp. It's called 365. That's the name of this beat tape. So always providing some dope beats for the show. Almost everything we play on Unnamed is Peace 586 production. So just want to shout him out. And he didn't pay me to do that, folks. I'll just do it because it's the home. But and he's a dope producer. So make sure you hit us up. You guys can call in, chime in, let us know how you feel about this NFL season. 702-608-3259. Once again, that is 702-608-3259. Grab that link and share it with your people. We're going to get into it right now, though, man. We have a lot of NFL to talk about. So let's start talking about it. Josh, what we got first?
Man, let's talk about the teams we're high on. These are the teams we think have a good chance to get to the Super Bowl, win their division, really, really make a name this year in the NFL season. So first things up, we've got the Chiefs. We both were high on them. They both are going. They're going at 12.5 for their win likelihood of over under this year. We both thought that they would go over that. Keep talking as you're nipping at my ankles. but you know, the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs are going to be good this year. I mean, you know, they still have Mahomes, who's still technically a baby, even though he's been doing this for some years now. But I think the Chiefs are going to still be the class of the NFL.
Okay, good.
What are your thoughts on the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, of course they're going to be right there. I think, you know, who else in the AFC could really beat them? We'll see.
Yeah.
I definitely think they're due to get back to the Super Bowl for the third year in a row.
That's insane.
So I am going to pick them to get back to the Super Bowl because who else is there? I mean, there's some good teams in the AFC, but great.
We haven't made it that part yet, Quad. That's your
what I'm talking about, though. What do you mean?
Well, we're
talking about the Chiefs, so I'm asking who else is there. So that's part of my analysis.
All right.
That's why I don't like doing shows when we're not prepared. Go ahead. What's next?
We're prepared. I'm good.
What's next?
Next up, we got the Bucks. The Bucks were going at 11.5 for the over/under from Vegas this year. We both like the Bucks to at least get 12 wins in a weaker division. You know, it's Tampa Bay now. It's not even Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay.
Bay.
So, you know, I think that the Bucks have another opportunity to make a good run.
Bring in all of their players back. You know, all their starters, unheard of.
Seriously.
Especially Antonio Brown. I mean, you know, you bring somebody like that back.
Everybody.
I mean, everybody, including him.
Yeah.
So they're going to be right there. One of these years, Tom Brady has to fall off, though, right?
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, at some point, it's going to happen. But
I'm going to say that's this year.
Oh wow,
I think there's a lot of very good teams in the NFC. Tampa Bay is going to be right there, but I think they got a little lucky last year by not having to face a lot of powerhouse teams because there was so many injuries last year.
No, everyone was injured, and again, it was COVID, and you know, in situations I feel like COVID, leadership means so much more. You know what I mean? It just does. Tom has been there. He's been in Super Bowls. He's led different teams to Super Bowls. So for him to go to a team like that and provide the leadership for Mike Evans, for Antonio Brown, I think I think that's really what separated them so much last year.
Yeah. I think they're still going to be good.
Yeah.
And now they have that experience. Now they know that they can win. They've won it already.
Yeah.
So, you know, Tampa Bay is going to be right there. I just don't see them going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't. I think the NFC, as long as other teams stay healthy, and you got to hope that they stay healthy.
True.
And they're older, you know.
Yep, yep.
So you got to hope they stay healthy to get back on top. So I don't see. They'll be in the playoffs. Obviously, they're going to win their division.
Yeah.
But getting back to the Super Bowl is going to be hard unless you're Kansas City.
Yeah. Well, it won't be a cakewalk for sure on the
Yeah.
NFC. Next up, we have the Ravens. The Ravens were going. We're over at 11. We thought we both thought they could win at least 11 games. But news out of Baltimore today: Gus Edwards, the starting running back outside of J.K. Dobbins, and Marcus Peters both are feared to have torn ACLs. So that hits both sides of the ball. On top of that, they actually had also lost another running back. That was the other person that you said.
Yeah.
Outside of J.K. Dobbins. So they've lost 3 running backs now. And Marcus Peters, the leader of the defense. So that's
rough.
That's insane.
That's rough for a team like that
Yeah.
is trying to get over the top, right? Like, this is one of those teams that you look at, and we talked about who can beat the Chiefs. This is one of those teams that has the chance, but with these losses, that's some huge losses.
Yeah.
When you're trying to be the next great team in the AFC, right?
Yeah.
And that's a huge hit on them. That's a huge hit. Who's going to step up and be that? Because the ACL, they're out for the year, folks.
Yeah, that's it.
They're not coming back. So that's going to be rough.
Especially with it being young running backs. Like, it's not like this was a veteran and, okay, now we got a young guy that's getting a shot. These were already the young guys. J.K. Dobbins, this is his second year in the league.
Yep.
Gus Edwards, I feel like this is his second, maybe third year in the league. So it was young guys already that were producing for them. And for them to lose both of them, and Marcus Peters, that's bad.
And Justice Hill was the other one. Hurt an Achilles.
That was the other
in
one.
September. And it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's going on with that team. But those are going to be hard to bounce back from, I think. So once again, we are live right here, right now on Unnamed Sports Show, GorillaCross.com. Please share the live video stream with your people, folks. If you're watching a replay, don't be trying to give predictions after the show.
After the fact.
We know how you guys are, but we're going to be giving our predictions, talk about our favorite teams as well. So you guys feel free to chime in, call in 702-608-3259 to give us your predictions. And, even if you're a homer and you just want to talk about your favorite team and act like they're going to win the Super Bowl, I've seen a few Eagles fans saying they could win that division. And we'll talk about that later, but I give them a 0% chance of winning that division.
They have a chance.
Okay, 1% chance.
Okay.
That's if 3 team planes crash. Which
Please don't wish that.
I didn't wish it.
Oh, my goodness. They have a puncher's chance. Everybody has especially in the NFC East. Every team has a shot.
I don't think that division is going to be what it was last year. I don't think it's going to be as bad. I think they're all going to be good teams. The 3 of the teams are going to be good. I think the Eagles are one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
I give them a 3rd worst in the league.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What's next?
Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, also another team that we think is going to exceed what's expected of them. With Josh Allen getting the big extension and everything that they have going for them right now, I think that the Bills are going to have another good shot to get to a Super Bowl.
He got the big money. Is that going to set him back? Now he got paid. So all these years, the last couple years, his rookie year was kind of rough. He can't throw. He can't do this.
Yeah.
And now he got paid. Does that mentally put him in a place where he doesn't have to work as hard anymore? I don't think so, but we've seen that before. So hope not. I actually do like the Bills. I think that's the 2nd best team in the AFC to me.
Yeah.
So I think they can give Kansas City somewhat a run for their money. Because they do. I mean, their teams, they've built their team strong. Over the years, they've slowly built this team to be a legit team. And we all know to build a team, you need a legit quarterback. And the fact they didn't give up on him when a lot of even fans wanted them to give up on Josh Allen, they didn't. They kept going with him and let him develop like you should a young quarterback.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and some of these young guys that just are superstars right out the gate.
Yeah.
Kind of ruin it for the people that need 3 years to develop, right? You can't even develop. You have 2 bad games as a rookie.
You're trash. You're not the one. He doesn't have it.
So with that being said, I think they did the right thing, hanging on to him, and now he's a legit, top quarterback in the NFL, and they have a team built around him.
Yep.
Defense, amazing.
Yeah. Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley
has some really good receivers.
He has help. He has weapons. He has help,
and a good backup now in case he goes down.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see on them. Next up, we've got your San Francisco 49ers. I put Quan in quotes because I know that this was the team that you feel is going to be at the top echelon of the league.
And I do, because they were right up there a couple years ago. Now they, I think they're the same team they were when they went to the Super Bowl, and better, more experience.
Yeah. So
last year, injuries took a toll on them, and that's one of the teams I was talking about. The Tampa Bay is lucky they didn't have to face, through the playoffs and going through their run to the Super Bowl, because I think this year they're right back there, and a lot of people are quiet on them. They are forgetting that 49ers last year were injured, and that's why they weren't in the conversation.
Yeah.
So I think this year is going to be a lot different. And every team is predicated on staying healthy or not. If Patrick Mahomes goes down, Kansas City's not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. So that goes for any team. If you lose too many players, you're just not doing much. But I love the Niners this year. Having a quarterback you drafted that high in the draft that everyone knows is the next quarterback of the team, whether that be in week 3, week 4, or in 4 years from now.
Yeah.
We know that's the future quarterback of the team. I feel like that's going to be good for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that's going to push him to have to – he had no backups.
Yeah,
so
no,
he knew
never
I
had
could
fear.
screw up and not have to worry.
Yeah.
This time I think it's going to make him play better. And here's the thing. If it doesn't, then we got a quarterback that could come in. Yeah. We saw the last preseason game. They were playing them both. I think you'll see that a little bit. Obviously not as much as you saw that last preseason game, but I'm excited about the team, man. The defense is back. Kittle's back. Everybody seems to be healthy right now. Had a really good draft. Got some young players. The running backs are just they do the team running backs,
Yeah.
So we have, I mean, who's as good or better? You know what I'm saying? They're right up there, top 5 in the NFC for sure. And I'm giving them top 1 because I'm picking them to win it and play the Chiefs and get our revenge.
A revenge Super Bowl.
Revenge Super Bowl.
Okay, all right. Last but not least, we've got the Cleveland Browns. The Browns, look, they've taken some steps, taken some strides forward, have probably the best backfield in the league as a tandem between Nick Chubb and Hunt. Kareem, or me Hunt for Kareem. But not just that, they have the weapons on the outside. They've got OBJ, they've got Landry. They have a good team, and then that's not even talking about their defense with Myles Garrett and those guys. So I think the Browns have a good shot to be good this year.
Something that bothered me last year is the fact the Browns did do better once OBJ went out, but I don't think that's because he went out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying that. And anytime you have Odell Beckham on your team,
you're a better team.
That's a better team. So the fact that he's back, hopefully he's fully healthy.
Yeah.
This is a team to be scared of. And listen, the only reason I wouldn't pick a team like this over the Chiefs is due to the fact of the quarterbacks. When it comes down to both these teams head to head, I got to take Mahomes over your favorite. Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I like Mayfield. I think same thing. You let him develop. You don't just give up. The Browns gave up on so many quarterbacks in the past and drafted bad anyways.
Yeah.
So I think right now, man, I think they're definitely top 5 team in the AFC for sure. I mean, that team is super solid. And take the Browns off the name and put any other football team name on the Browns, and a lot more people would be picking them.
Sure.
I think the name Cleveland Browns just sounds like I can't say that. And Super Bowl or AFC Championship, right?
Yeah, this isn't 88.
Yeah, but listen, man, this Browns team is legit. I mean, it was only a couple years ago where they weren't winning any games at all. Now they're right here as one of the best teams in the league. And I'm excited to watch them because they have weapons everywhere.
Yeah. Well, all right.
What do you think about them?
I mean, like I said, I think that they're a good team. I think they have a good shot at doing something. You know what I mean? Like when it comes down to it, especially with if the Ravens now take a step back, Now, you're up against an older Steelers team. You're looking more like you could be the team to beat in that division. So that's actually, that shifts the show. The information we got definitely shifts some of my picks. So we'll see. Next up, we've got the bottom feeders in the league. These are the teams that are going to be more than likely drafting a quarterback this year. We don't have much hope for them. Sorry for these fan bases. But if you think that we're wrong, please chime in and tell us that we're wrong.
Yeah,
First up,
definitely.
we got the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos haven't had a quarterback now since their championship run with Peyton Manning. And it doesn't look any better right now with Teddy Bridgewater. Kenny Bridgewater. That sounds like a good white boy name.
It's his cousin.
Kenny Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock. It looks more and more like they're going to go with Teddy, but we've seen.
I mean, they're saying they're starting Teddy to start the season, so we'll see.
We've seen Drew Lock appear out of nothing over and over again. So until they get a real quarterback, I think they're going to struggle.
I think they're the worst team in the AFC West for sure. I think the AFC West is going to be really good this year. I'm excited to see what the LA Chargers are going to do.
Yeah.
With Herbert having his second season now, so he has that first rookie season under his belt, and he's an amazing quarterback.
He's very good.
Let's admit it. He's amazing. Way better than we thought he would. And the fact that they tried to kill Tyrod so we could see him for a rookie year.
Punctured that man's lung.
They tried to kill the guy.
Punctured that man's lung. His season was done. It's like, Tyrod, don't go back out for warm-ups. It's not. You're not playing today.
But I like the AFC West. I think the Broncos are the worst team in the AFC West. I think it's going to be another struggling year for them. They need to find a quarterback, and that's something that John Elway, being a great quarterback he was in his playing days, has not been good. I mean, he got lucky with the Peyton Manning thing, but even Peyton was horrible his last year. The defense won that Super Bowl for him. It's just been a struggle ever since. Ever since they lost Peyton Manning, it's been a struggle at quarterback, and it's hard to build a team around a team without a quarterback.
Around air, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I think that they should go all in on Aaron Rodgers. That's really who they should just try to run the same play they've already run.
The same thing they did with Peyton.
Ran that play with Peyton Manning, and it worked to perfection. Do the exact same thing with Aaron Rodgers.
Now, there's a former MVP quarterback out there right now that's a free agent. Do you think that the Denver Broncos should go after Cam Newton this year? It at least brings some excitement to the team, and Cam needs to have a job. I just don't understand why he wouldn't, unless he's telling teams like, I don't want to be a backup, which I don't think at this stage of his career he'd be doing that. So what do you think about that? I mean, Denver's a team that doesn't really have a quarterback. I mean,
so right off of what you just said in terms of him saying that he doesn't feel like he's a backup, we've seen that clip where he feels like he's still he's not worse than 30 the 32 that are out there. So, meaning that I forget exactly what his words were, but basically the Brandon Marshall asked him, are you, in the top 10 or whatever? He was trying to place him in the league, and he was saying that I'm not below 32. Meaning that I don't feel like I'm a backup, truthfully.
Yeah.
I would say that if they did go after Cam Newton, it would take some pressure off of Philip Lindsay. Because I don't feel like right now they have a short yardage back. Like Philip Lindsay's more of a, kind of spread and attack the edges guy. Cam could give you a little bit more north-south running in certain situations, so that could help him. But we'll see.
I say go for it. What do you have to lose?
Especially
if it's a one-year contract, go for it. See what he could do.
Yeah.
Last year in New England, I don't think they gave him a fair shot. He didn't have a lot of players stayed out because of COVID.
Yeah.
They had that opportunity to do that, and
he caught COVID. Remember that? He caught it.
So I don't think they gave him a fair shot there, but they wanted their rookie quarterback to start, which makes sense. I mean, you draft somebody that high and it's supposed to be that good, it makes sense. And why, if you're starting him, why pay Cam all the money that had signed him for? So it makes sense. But we'll see. But I definitely think he needs a job. And I mean, I think there's a team without a name that doesn't really have a quarterback that could use him as well.
Yeah. Next up, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles, who some people think are going to win the division. I personally
Wow.
feel like they are a 5 to 6 win team. I don't think they're going to win much more than that. Sorry, Desiree, if you're watching.
I don't even see 6 wins. I think they're going to really struggle this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I hope they could do better than I think, but I'm looking at 4 or 5 games.
They still have offensive weapons. They have Miles Sanders at running back. They have I forget which Alabama kid they drafted, but they've drafted some receivers. Deshaun Jackson's back. So they have speed. The Eagles are always known to having speed.
How old is Jackson?
Shoot, he's still a 95 speed on Madden. That's all I need to know.
Oh, Madden.
Madden lets me know what you really think. Like, okay, no, Deshaun Jackson's still out there with wheels. So until then, I leave him alone and don't think that he's not any good. So
yeah, and we'll see what Jalen can do. I mean, I hope he does well, but we'll see, man. It's gonna be hard for them.
Gardner Minshew could be a.
Is he their backup?
He remember they traded for him. They traded with Jacksonville to get him there.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, it could be a quarterback controversy with that as well. Next up, we got the Bengals. I think it all comes down to Joe Burrow. Personally, Joe Burrow. How injured is he still? Did they rush him back? Because I forget the kid's first name, but Allen, I believe, is the backup, and he's not very good.
Yeah.
But Jamar Chase. What are you getting with Jamar Chase? Now you're bringing the championship quarterback receiver tandem back together. We'll see.
Did you see the quote from Jamar?
Mm-mm.
We're gonna look for it.
Okay. What was he saying?
It said something about the football, and I
what like
it was
versus
on some
versus a college football?
Yeah, he said it's bigger, doesn't have the white lines, so hard to see NFL football. Explains preseason drops were due to hard to see the football. That's why he was dropping so many in the preseason. The ball is different because it's bigger. It doesn't have the white stripes on the side, so you can't see the ball coming from the tip point. So you actually have to look for the strings on the ball at the top, which is hard to see because the whole ball is brown, and you have the 6 strings that are white. But for the most part, just have to get used to it and find out what I'm comfortable with catching.
Yeah.
He's not the first rookie to ever come in the NFL, though, from college.
Hey.
Is he the first person to admit that? Or is that something where you just don't say because now we know you have a weakness, which is you can't see the football unless you put white stripes on it?
I actually admire his honesty. Because that actually was an in-depth reason. It wasn't. I don't feel like that was contrived or something that he had thought up before.
Or is that could be an excuse why you're dropping so many balls, though, too.
Yeah. Oh no, it's definitely an excuse. Now I'm not pardoning the excuse because drops are drops, and as you said, there's rookie receivers every year. So
and it's different than the college ball, but you've still played with that ball somewhere else before. You know what I'm saying? Like
sure.
The football is a football when it comes down to it.
That's I still respect him. That's interesting. That's an interesting take. And I hope he has a plan to fix it. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? Like it's cool, but you're paid to do this now, and you are the top receiver. Everybody's telling us that you're going to be the next great thing. So he's got to fix it. But that is an interesting take for him to even be that honest and forthright with it. So I ain't mad at him.
Maybe the quarterback can sneak some white tape on it before he throws it to him.
I don't know how to fix that. He's just got to rep that.
That's all. White tape. Hey. We know where it's going. That's a white stripe on it.
He's the primary. Next up, we've got the New York Jets. I personally feel like the Jets. I want to say they're going to be bad, but I actually feel like the Jets might surprise us a little bit. Zach Wilson has looked good, and people have really been on him and saying how great he could be. And I'd be happy for the Jets if they have found a quarterback. So if they found a quarterback that they feel like they can run with, they might be decent. Now, what does decent mean? Does that mean 7 wins? Is that a good season? We'll see.
7 wins would be a great season for the Jets, for sure.
New coach.
I love their coach. Obviously,
I
he's
know.
our defensive coordinator. So I was sad to see him go, but coordinators don't always make for the best coaches. But we'll see. I think he'll be a good coach.
Do you feel like the loss of him is going to affect your defense, the Niners defense? No, you feel
a little bit, but not. I mean, they'll pick it right back up.
Okay.
Still, the defense has been there long enough to learn from him, and
sure.
So I think they'll be fine. But We'll see, because the Jets, I feel like they kind of gave up on
on Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold too quick. So are they going to do the same thing if Zach has
a bad year.
5 weeks in a row to start the season, and you get into his psyche and don't even give him a chance? So, we talked about it, developing the quarterbacks, letting them develop. Are they going to do that with him or not? So it's still going to be a struggle year. I don't think they're a playoff team. Can they surprise us and get 6 or 7 wins? I think it's possible, but I also think it's possible that they win 2 or 3 games,
Yeah.
There will be, every year in the NFL, there's surprise teams where we didn't expect them to do what they did, and they end up doing it. So could this be one of those teams? They have a decent team, but is their office, is their locker room, like, what's that like? Because I think that's been a struggle for that team for a very long time.
Yeah, their front office has been in shambles for a while. But we'll see. Next up, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now with the loss of Travis Etienne, I'm not sure how they look.
I hate seeing those preseason losses and training camp losses, especially from players like that, where you can't wait to see what they're going to do.
See what they look like, and that one hurt. And then it's a Liz Frank, I believe. I believe it was a torn ligament in his foot. So that's a speed guy, and now you're sapping some of that speed before you even had a chance to really showcase it. So that's unfortunate. But as I said before, when we had our NFL preview, Trevor Lawrence has DJ Chark. They've got Chenault. He has weapons. He has weapons. I don't know what his line looks like, his offensive line. That could be the death knell for him. But the defense is solid, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. They may not be as bad as you think. Last up, we got the Texans. The Texans are going to be trash.
Worst team in the league. Worst team in the league. Number 1 worst team in the league. They have a starting quarterback now. Yeah. Hopefully his lung doesn't get punctured.
Hey, they can't. They don't have nobody else. Don't be stupid.
Deshaun Watson, even if they tell him to play, I don't think he will.
Wow. That's real, though.
He'll fake it, fake an injury.
Yeah, my hamstring. My ham quad.
Can't play, I'm hurt.
Both of them,
and you got all the controversies surrounding him all year, which just happened to come out right when he wanted to get traded. So I think it's a lot of shady stuff going on there. I wish nothing but the worst on that franchise, because I think that owner is definitely evil. I think he helped set all that stuff up with all the controversy surrounding Deshaun Watson this year. So I don't really respect the owner at all. And so I don't want that team to do anything good. I really don't. I hope Deshaun gets his name clear. And if he did it, I hope, he gets.
Yeah. I will say one thing, though. He still got to pay him. So you can do whatever you got to do. You can do whatever you want.
And that's why they should just trade him. Why are you going to keep somebody around?
Hey.
When you're still paying him.
My cash is still the same. That's what my mom used to always say with Jerome and everything in the league. Like, as frustrating as they can be, check's still the same.
Yep.
Is what it is. Next up, so that's all we got for the top and the bottom of the league. Next up, we've got the league MVP.
Yeah. And Simply T, I'll call you when I can. We're live because you commented, and now you're texting me. Okay, go ahead.
We got the league MVP. You gonna roll mine? You gonna roll my beautiful bean footage?
Are you sure you don't want to change this though?
Nope. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep mine.
That's scary. Hopefully we don't get kicked off for this.
Well, it's not a big.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was other music to this, but
it's all right. We'll rock our music.
Your timing's perfect. Simply T coming in 7:30 tonight if you want to come in 7:30.
Just moves on moves. Lamar Jackson, I think he's going to have to do a lot this year. Now, does that potentially get him injured or put him in more positions to get hurt? I think he does. That was crazy that he sat my man on his back. But he has offensive weapons in terms of receivers now, more than Hollywood Brown. They signed another track star receiver. They brought in Sammy Watkins. Mark Andrews, his tight end, just became the top 3 tight end paid in the league. Just got a new contract, so he has receiving options. But if he has no running game, that team runs the ball. They've got a 300-pound fullback named Richard. That's a glorified lineman that can move a little bit. But I think it's going to come down to Lamar and what he continues to do. So we'll see.
And like we said, all the missing pieces, to start the season is going to be rough on them, but they're still going to be one of the best teams in the AFC. So he definitely has a chance, and maybe even more now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it might even give him more of a chance missing those pieces because he's going to run the ball a lot more.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell, they were saying that they just picked up Le'Veon Bell as well.
Okay.
So
smart pickup.
I mean,
we'll see what Le'Veon could do. He was one of the best running backs in the league a few years ago.
Yeah.
And wanted to get paid. Got paid and then fell off. But hey, get paid again.
Hey, I hope he got as much of his guaranteed money as he could.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But Lamar right up there. So, we'll see what he does. I don't have the highlight reel, but I'm going with Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm joking. Your face. I wish I would have had you on screen. I just don't see anybody in the league better than Patrick Mahomes, and I think he's going to prove that and show that again this year. I think he's going to have a crazy year. Yeah. He's not happy they lost the Super Bowl. They got embarrassed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
a lot of people picked them to win, and they got embarrassed. I feel like his vengeance is going to be crazy this year.
Yeah.
Especially during the regular season.
He's not trying to make friends, is what you're saying.
At all. And I think we're going to see a crazy MVP season from him this year. So I'm taking Pat Mahomes as my MVP of the year. Like I said, I think that's my AFC Super Bowl team also.
What kind of numbers? What kind of numbers do you think?
I don't know, but I don't think they're only going to lose 2 games.
Okay. So
and
15
he's going to have
15
some 15 and 2. We got that extra game. I think they're going to be killers this year. I think it's going to be bad.
I think Lamar probably gets 4,200 passing yards, probably about 35 touchdowns through the air, another 1,000-yard rushing season, and another maybe 7 or 8 touchdowns on the ground. That's why I think he's going to be MVP.
And our boy Paul said Josh Allen's going to win the MVP.
That's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick.
Possible. He got MVP money.
Yeah.
So he needs to be in the top 3 in MVP voting with all the money he got paid, for sure. So he can. I mean, they have a squad.
Stephon Diggs led the league in receiving last year, so he's got stallions to prove that kind of point. So I'm not saying that's a bad pick at all.
But is he going to be better than Patrick Mahomes, who's coming off
like anger?
Anger. I really think we're going to see a different Patrick Mahomes, which is scary. We're going to see the same one, but with a little more vengeance. So, yeah.
All right. We're up to the division champs. Starting in my NFC East. I've got my team, of course, the Washington football team. Soon to be Red Wolves. Red Wolves is coming. You guys have heard it here first. That's going to be the name, but we'll move on.
There was a list of like 8 names they had.
Yeah, and Red Wolves is on there. The rest of the names are they're not
there
good
was
names.
The Presidents. Are you serious right now?
The Washington Presidents.
Which half the country hates the president that's in office at any time.
Yeah. That's
just stupid.
So you're automatically turning off potentially half the country.
And that's offensive to white people because white people are always presidents, except Obama. So are they gonna walk around with suits on? Is that gonna be their mascot?
God, I hate that. Just
an orange guy walking around with a suit,
the renegade,
or a dead guy walking around like, I'm your president. I can't see. But we gotta get out of Afghanistan. Anyways,
I think we're gonna go 11 and 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I will give the Cowboys that division.
Yep.
I will give them 10 wins, 10 and 7.
10 and 7.
That's still the NFC East, so I'm not gonna hype them up too much.
All right.
Gotta settle down on them, but 11 wins.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yep.
But I think Washington is definitely. I think it's gonna be Washington and Dallas battling for it. I would prefer Washington because I don't hate you guys as much as the other fan base.
You only hate them more because of me. That's the only reason why you don't like my team now. That's it.
Well, and they're racist. But go ahead.
All right, next up we got the NFC South.
Wait, so you think
You going back? Going back to mine?
You think your quarterback is going to give you 11 wins?
Bro.
You need Cam. What? Let's talk about that real quick.
No.
How come you don't want Cam Newton on your team?
No, because Cam
think
Cam is super inaccurate, brother.
If Fitzpatrick isn't?
No, but Fitzpatrick, when he's hot, can really...
He's only hot. He's only hot when there's another quarterback that he's replacing or playing ahead of that is better than him.
All right, be that as it may. Last year, he had higher QBR. He had higher completion percentage. And I forget there was like another stat, but he was like in the top 5 in like all 3 of those stat categories. Like, he's not bad and he still can move.
So you think he's better than former MVP
right
of the
now,
league, Cam Newton?
Right now, Cam has not looked good since 2017. Like, Cam Newton, good. He's looked bad or been injured since 2017.
He looked decent last year and on a team that isn't his style at all, first of all.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But
and he still, they won more games than they expected last year. So
that's true.
I would take Cam Newton in a second if Fitzpatrick was my starting quarterback.
Well,
in 1 second, I wouldn't even hesitate.
I'll put it to you like this. Ron Rivera has he coached him for 9 years. And if he says no, and he's had no twice now, I think he knows something. So I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna run.
Yeah,
around.
I guess.
Riverboat and me. I'm all set with him right now.
Which is weird, but hey,
he know more than we do.
I guess.
I'll just say that. All right, so moving on to the NFC South. We're done. We're done with my team. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys in the East.
All right. NFC South. I've got Tampa Bay. Tom's getting 13 wins. 13-4.
I refuse to call them anything besides Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I will. No one else has a chance in this division at all. This might be the worst division in the league, except for the Bucs. So if the Bucs weren't who they are going to be,
that's true.
This is the worst division in the league because I think the Saints are a 7-win team without Drew Brees being there.
Yeah.
Not knowing, Jameis Winston. I want him to do good. I would love for them to win 10 or 11 games and have him have a good season where he's not throwing 30 picks. I just don't see that happening. I think this is the worst division in the league, and I think Tampa Bay could win 10 games and still win the division. I don't think they have to struggle much to get the division win. For the NFC
Michael
South.
Thomas also still hurt in New Orleans as well.
Don't know even when he comes back what he's going to be, if he's going to,
if he wants to be back.
If he wants to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been having Drew Brees throw to you for that long, and then it's like
cake.
Now you got Jameis and Taysom Hill once in a while.
Now
I don't know about that.
I'm trying to pray that this ball is in my zip code.
Falcons, they're going under. Panthers.
I am excited to see what Kyle Pitts looks like, though.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited to see what he looks like. That's going to be intriguing. But outside of him, I mean,
I think some of these teams have like really exciting young players coming in, but that doesn't mean that's not going to equate to wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Not top to bottom team. So he might have a game where he wins a game himself, but it's not going to win a season. Next up, we got.
And Paul said Bucs might be the only team to win the division. To in the division be over 500.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah,
it's definitely possible with that those teams.
Yeah. Well, and remember, nobody can be 500 anymore. You're either good or you're bad.
Yeah,
that's it. Next up, we've got the NFC North. I've got Green Bay kind of in just a push, I guess. I think probably the Bears would be the closest thing to them if Fields plays the whole season. But for me, I think it's going to be Green Bay.
Well, Fields won't be playing the whole season because Week 1 starter is already Andy Dalton.
Oh,
I believe. Pretty sure they announced that already.
Did they?
I think. They should. I mean, it's a couple days away.
No, I think they're still holding it.
No.
I hope they're holding it.
We'll see. But I think Dalton is going to be the starter to start the season.
They're losing them 4 games.
Yeah. So I don't think anybody, same thing. I don't think anybody has a chance. I think the Lions are going to be horrible. I give it to Green Bay. Minnesota's Minnesota. They're always going to be there doing something.
Just there. They
but
win.
Not very scary.
Yeah, they'll win that game where you're like, they had no business winning that game, but then they'll lose to the Jets.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
That's who they are.
Exactly.
That's who they are right now.
But yeah, I got Green Bay also.
All right. Next up, we've got your division, the NFC West. I am taking Seattle, and I know that you think I'm crazy because you feel as if that's the worst team in your division this year.
It definitely is.
But I'm still riding with Russ. I think DK is continuing to come into his own and being one of the best receivers in the league. They still have Tyler Lockett, that has speed, can run out of the slot, be outside. Their running back situation is still a little bit shaky, but their defense, now you have a full year of I'm blanking on the safety's name that they traded for, but now
Adams.
Yes. But you have a full season. He knows the defense forward and backwards now. I feel like they're still one of the best teams in the league.
Anytime you got Russ, you
got a chance.
You're there, but he looked frustrated last year. I don't see it. I really don't. I mean, they're still going to be a good team.
Yeah.
Because this, to me, is the best division of football.
League, yeah.
Because you got 4 teams that I think easily will go over 500.
Well, and all 4 teams, truthfully, could have a claim for the title.
Yeah.
Like, not one of those teams you're like, oh, they're bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
even if you're
exactly.
saying Seattle's bad, they ain't that bad unless Russ goes down. That's the only way that they're a bad team.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, anybody that goes into Seattle, it's scary to play there anyway.
Sure.
So, with Russ being there, you never know. But I do think that's going to be the worst team in the division. Not saying much because they're still going to be good.
Still could win 8 games to be the worst team in the division.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I will pick the 49ers
of course
just because we own the Rams. Like, we always play the Rams well every year.
That's true.
And they're just not scary when we play them. Like, that's one of those teams I'm not scared of. I'm more scared of playing Seattle. Even with them being bad. Because we just play bad against Seattle.
The worst team.
And then Arizona's getting better. I mean, what's his name? Has 3rd year now.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray has that experience. One of the best wide receivers in the league.
Well, but no Larry now.
He's still looking for a team, huh?
You got Nuke, but now no Larry. So now you don't have that safety net of, well, they doubled DeAndre, but Larry's always open.
I don't think they care. This is a young team that I don't think the Larry was old.
Larry was old, but he's still
good. But
yeah, we'll see. Next up, we've got the AFC East. I personally feel like this is Buffalo's division to lose. Outside of the Dolphins, I feel like the Patriots and the Jets are still they're still trying to figure it out. Top to bottom, I don't think their rosters can really hold up. But I'm taking the Bills.
Dolphins are going to have a miraculous year. Tua's going to have to be what they thought he was going to be 2 years ago in college before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Tua's going to have to be that amazing, best quarterback ever type of guy for them to win this division. I don't see it. I think this is still a development year for Tua. I think we'll see what he's going to be next season.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be really good, but I think the hype was a little too much for him. I don't see anybody coming close to the Bills. Like within 3 games or 4 games, I think Buffalo blows out this division. Patriots are going to be good. They're going to be a lot better than they were last year because of the fact like their players are going to be back and
people are playing.
So I think they're going to be better, and Jets are going to be at the bottom again.
Mac Jones is also their type of quarterback. Cam wasn't their type of quarterback. Well, no. Just in terms of getting the ball out quickly, hitting people accurately, being anticipating throws.
Definitely.
Not anything about him being
Caucasian.
white at all.
The fan base loves it.
I won't fight you on that.
They definitely cheered when the white boy came in.
Moving on.
They almost started chanting Rudy. It's like, come on, bro. Not that serious.
I hate you so much. Moving on, we've got the AFC South. I'm taking the Titans because literally the rest of the South is trash. Moving on.
Colts just we don't know what the quarterback situation is. And I don't trust their quarterback situation.
Yeah, at all.
At all. So Titans for sure. I think that's easily. Some of these are easy.
Yeah,
that's definitely an easy pick.
I had us down. I was like, I know who he's going to pick.
Yeah, definitely. Nobody else in that division. Same thing like Buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone being within 3 games or 4 games of them. Yeah.
They have a good roster.
Colts are good, but we just don't know what their quarterback situation is going to be like.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Next up, we have the AFC North. and I am going to switch it up, and I'm not going to take the Ravens because that might be too much to ask. Lamar might win MVP, but it's because he had to do everything. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
Another very tough. This reminds me a lot of AFC West, where every team NFC West, yeah. Where every team is really good. Bengals are obviously like the weak link in that division, but they're gonna have a better year. Depending on what Burrow does. But they're not a playoff team. So you got three solid teams that could win this division.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, no matter how old Roethlisberger gets, they're always going to be right up there.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to pick. I'm going with the Browns just because what I said earlier, the only reason that I wouldn't go with the Browns is because of the team name and and the stigma that they have. But when you look at the squads, that's a solid team all around.
You look at it, they have no weaknesses.
Exactly.
There's no real glaring like, oh, they don't have that. It's like, he's not as good as that guy, but he's still a guy. Like, you know what I mean?
And with the injuries the Ravens have, it's going to be a little tough in that division to. So I'm going with the Browns. I think they're going to have a good year.
All right. Definitely our easiest pick of the day. The AFC West, I think we both have Kansas City. There's nobody that can even touch them.
I think Raiders are going to have a good year. They beat Kansas City once last year. But Kansas City's just at a different level.
Yeah.
And once again, I'll say it one more time. Patrick Mahomes is coming off a Super Bowl loss. And I think we're going to just see something different. I think they're going to lose 2 games. Raiders, I think they could win. I think they could be a 12-win team. To be honest, 12-5.
Wow.
I think they could.
Wow.
I think they're going to be good this year. They're getting better. Some of their young guys are more experienced.
Wow.
But I don't think they're going to be able to touch Kansas City.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So, but you have the Raiders.
I like the Raiders.
You have the Raiders down as a playoff team.
They're going to the playoffs.
Wow. So they might mess around and get a home playoff. No, can't have a home playoff game. Could you think so?
No, I'm not sure.
No, because they'd be wild card, right? They'd be wild card, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And there's more teams this year.
Yeah, a lot of people have to lose.
We got to figure that out.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. I think.
Come on, man. The Raiders are going to do good.
I hope so.
I want. A couple weeks ago, I said I want them to lose all their games because we can't get in because we don't have the vaccine, and you guys are little people if you don't have the vaccine. And
it's all right. We're figuring it out. We're gonna get in there. Don't you jinx us. All right. Next up, we've got the Super Bowl picks. Now, I'm debating if I want to switch this out. Yeah, I'm going to switch it out. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills out of the AFC versus my Washington football team. I'm crazy, I know. I feel like we got a chance, and I feel like it's going to be like 1991 all over again.
Wow.
That's how I'm feeling. They're not circling the wagons. We're getting the victory.
So what's going to happen is we're going to invite Josh to the Super Bowl party at the studio. We're going to put on the game from 91 on the bottom TV, so you can watch that and just act like, just live that again. While on the other 3 TVs,
the actual game,
we're going to have the 49ers and the Chiefs on, not from 2 years ago, but from this year, because that's going to be the Super Bowl matchup, 49ers and Chiefs. And 49ers win it, get the redemption, even though Patrick Mahomes is mad that he lost last year.
Dang,
wait till he watch how he looks next year, though. He's gonna be breaking records coming out 2 losses
or breaking arms, one of the 2.
Something.
All right.
He's gonna start talking with a deep voice next year. I'm the new Patrick Mahomes.
I hate you. All right. So we've moved on to our new segment called On the Line. So we're going to go through each line, each game. But let's just start with today's game, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You got the lines?
Yeah, the line for tonight, Tampa is -9 at home.
I think it's actually going to be a closer game.
Yeah?
I'm going with Tampa for the win.
Sure.
But I think it's going to be a close game. I think I'll say Tampa by 6.
I actually think that they're going to blow them out.
Really?
Tom, I mean, like, Tom is similar to Peyton when it comes down to those, oh, we got the first game of the season and everyone's watching, and he's that kind of guy that loves to perform on that stage. They're going to win by 14 or more. Woo! Yeah. Dallas's you got to remember Dallas's defense is not that good. Now they did, I forget who their new defensive coordinator is now. The old coach from the Falcons. That was the defense coordinator. I forget who he was for the Seahawks. But I still don't think that they're very good. So I feel like Dallas is starting the season 0-1 and Tampa is starting 1-0.
All right. I'm same thing. I mean, I think Tampa wins the game, but I think as far as the line, I think Dallas, loses by 6.
All right. So we got the early games. We can run through these pretty quick. Eagles, Falcons at home -3.
Eagles and Falcons. What a horrible game.
That is it's a bad one to start the season.
It's like when you see a whole bunch of pigeons in the alley and you're driving through and there's just pigeons everywhere.
Yeah.
Just all these birds just laying around looking ugly, and you just drive through and they scatter and you hit 2 or 3 of them. That's how I feel about this game. It's an ugly game.
Somebody's goose
-3
is cooked.
I got the Eagles winning this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the Eagles.
All right. I could actually see that. I'm hoping that they start off 0-1. I'll take the Falcons covering at -3.
Okay.
The next game we've got the Steelers versus the Bills -6.5. Buffalo at home.
Good game. I got the Bills by 10.
Okay.
At home.
All right.
I mean, it's not cold yet, so you're not factoring in that part.
Sure.
But I mean, Pittsburgh's cold too, so it doesn't matter. But
no TJ Watt or possibly TJ Watt.
He signed today.
Did he?
Yeah. A lot of money.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, he's there. TJ will be there.
Okay. All right.
I knew he'd be there.
Is he out of shape? Is he in shape?
I doubt it.
Because remember, he hasn't really been practicing. He didn't play in any preseason games. So, where is he?
TJ Watt, 4 years, $112 million.
Holy smokes.
Extension.
Good for you, TJ.
So he got his bag. I think that's the most ever.
Okay.
For a fully guaranteed
player?
$80 million.
Oh, I thought you were saying the whole thing was guaranteed.
No.
I was like, whoa.
But still, to get $80 million guaranteed
in 4
shout
years?
Out. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for you, TJ.
Get paid.
Yeah, good for you.
I wish they would have signed JJ too.
That would have been dope.
Would've been
All
dope.
the Watt brothers together.
Yeah.
I really would have liked
been
that.
cool. But he's with Arizona, so
yeah. And they took TJ's captaincy away. They gave it to his brother.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, he'll take it back.
I was like, I don't like that. Yeah, I think the Bills cover. I don't know if it's gonna be tight.
It's gonna be a good game though.
It's gonna be tight.
That's one of those games that'll be on one of the TVs.
All right, next up we've got the Vikings versus the Bengals. Bengals opening day dogs to the Vikings. Vikings -3.
I got the Vikings.
Got the Vikings.
Yeah.
Kirk,
I know you hate Kirk.
Kirk is gonna make a mistake. Kirk. I'm taking the Bengals.
Still the Bengals.
They're not the Bungles yet. We're gonna see what
right.
Joe B can do. Next up, we got the Niners versus the Lions. Niners -7.5 for Jared Goff's debut.
I got -8 over here.
Oh, okay.
On mine, but
that was
do
early.
7.5. Is that ESPN? Or?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was earlier today.
It's 8
moved.
right now.
Ooh.
Wow. I don't know why it's so low. I got Niners by at least 2 touchdowns. For real, I think this is gonna be an absolute blowout.
I think the Lions are gonna cover. I don't think the Lions are gonna win, but I feel like it'll probably be it'll probably come down to a 1-possession game, but you guys can walk it out.
No chance. I think this game's over going into the fourth quarter.
Over by the 4th. All right.
Going into the 4th.
Yeah. Sorry, going into the 4th. Next up, we got the Cardinals versus the Titans. Titans -3 at home to start the regular season.
It's a good one right here. I got the Titans. They'll cover.
Arizona doesn't travel well.
Yeah.
Going east usually, and I don't think they're gonna have enough for Derrick Henry. So I got the Titans as well. Next up, the Seahawks versus the Colts. The Colts are opening day dogs at home. Seahawks -3.
keep talking about the quarterback situation in Indianapolis. I got to go with Seattle in this game. I hope they lose. I hope they lose by a lot. Hope they get embarrassed.
Yeah, hope they have a distorted psyche going into week 2.
Exactly. But they're going to win this game.
Yeah, they should.
I hope they lose.
They have no business losing that game. Okay, this is quietly a exciting game. Jets versus Panthers. Sam Darnold gets his revenge potentially. Panthers -4 at home.
He's going to get it.
Yeah,
he's going to get it. They'll cover that. Yeah. Jets have no chance.
Jets no chance. Wow.
But if they go in there to his new home,
yeah, and beat him, that's not a good look for the Panthers.
Not a good look to start out like that.
Not at all. Next up, we've got the Jags versus the Texans. Jags are actually favored on the road.
On the road.
-3 for the Jags.
Well, we'll see what the amazing college coach can do in his opening debut, but I think Texans are a mess. If they win 2 games, I'm going to be surprised this year. This is one they can win, but I don't think they will win. Jags, they cover.
I actually think the Texans are going to mess around and win this one, just based off of having a veteran quarterback. I think that Tyrod takes care of the ball and he doesn't make mistakes. And I think Trevor Lawrence might have a mistake or 2 in the game, and that's what ends up costing him the game.
Okay.
Last up for the early games, my Washington football team versus the Chargers. This is essentially a pick'em. Washington -1 favorites at home. I think we win, and so if we win, we cover. But the Chargers aren't going to be nice. I know that.
I feel like Washington's a lot better than the Chargers, and for it to only be 1 is kind of crazy. I think Washington wins this game. I think it's going to be, a good game, but I wouldn't be scared of the Chargers in a home game to open the season. So I got Washington winning this one, and Paul's flipping off the Jets.
All right, we got the afternoon games. We'll go through these quick as well. The Browns versus the Chiefs. Woo! Chiefs at home -5.5 to start their season.
This would have been a great opening night game, season game, but you always have the Super Bowl champs opening up the season. But this is the game I would have wanted to see to open up the whole season. This is going to be a great game, -5.5. They're at home. I think it's going to be a field goal. So Chiefs aren't going to cover that 5.5, but I got Chiefs winning the game.
All right. Yeah, I think the Chiefs win. I think the Chiefs if we're saying that the Browns are going to be there towards the end, I think the Chiefs are going to have to make a statement.
Yeah.
So you don't want them to feel like they were in the game.
Yeah.
You need to win by 10.
Okay.
So I think they cover, and I think they win by 2 touchdowns. Well, excuse me, two scores.
And Paul was flipping us off because he's a Jets fan.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Sorry.
It's what it is.
I'm sorry, too, that you're a Jets fan.
Where are you from, Paul? Write that in the comments.
Yeah, he's from here.
He's from here?
He'll be in the studio in a little bit, into the West Comics.
Moving on. Next up, we got the Dolphins versus the Patriots. The Patriots -3 at home. So Tua is a dog versus Mac Jones, the rookie. I think that's wrong, and I'm taking the Dolphins.
Dolphins aren't going to win this game in New England. Tua, to me, is still a rookie. I think he's still going to have a rookie-type season because he was on and off last year.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick outplayed him by far last year, I think. So give me the Patriots at home. They're going to have a full squad again, and I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. So give me the Patriots to cover.
All right. Next up, we've got the Packers versus the Saints. The Packers are road favorites at -3.5.
Give me Packers by 10.
Yeah, I see that as well.
Yeah.
Last up for the afternoon games, we got the Giants versus the Broncos. The Broncos are home favorites at -3.
Road favorites.
No, the Broncos are at home.
No, MetLife Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And the Broncos are favored though, right?
No, you had that backwards. Denver -3. Yeah.
Okay.
They're favored, but on the road.
But they're on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so this is the one that I messed up on in the chat too. So
Okay.
I just threw it down. But all right, I'll take the Broncos. I'll take the Broncos. I don't want to. The Giants are better.
Yeah, I got the Giants in this. Daniel Jones, I think he'll have a solid season. I think same thing, man. People hating on him so long. He's been solid. People talk about him running and tripping when he could have scored a touchdown like that. But I hate when a play like that, people want to define his whole career. This is going to be his fourth year?
No, this is third year.
Third year. So they define the first 2 years as, well, he tripped. Who cares? I've tripped walking outside before. So
yeah,
stop that. I think he's a good quarterback. Same thing. Let them develop before you start judging them right away. He was decent last year. Didn't have his running back.
Yeah.
Running back is back. Give me the Giants in this game, man. I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They're going to win, so they don't have to cover.
Sunday Night Football, Bears versus Rams. Rams -7.5. You said it might be Dalton. I think. Listen, if it's Dalton, the Rams blow him out.
Oh, I think they play better if it's Dalton for the first game. I don't think Justin Fields needs to go in his
With
first
Aaron
game
Donald?
against a good team.
Yeah, Aaron Donald.
What I say?
No, I was saying.
Oh yeah, you don't
Aaron-
want that. You don't want that to be your first game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Bears want that. I think that's why they might be saying Andy Dalton, because if he's gonna die, he's gonna die. We're not gonna kill our young quarterback.
Let Aaron.
That defense. Listen, man.
Eat on him.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have the excuse, well, Andy Dalton got hurt. He tore his ACL because Aaron Darnold, did what he did. And so now we have to start Justin Fields, and instead of saying, hey, our draft pick is dead. But I think Rams win this game. I think it'll be good. Bears defense is still a really good defense.
They're good, I feel like, but they're not great. Like they're.
I think they're an underachieving defense.
Yeah. Because last year, I swear, like they had games where I'm like, bro, like, all right, if you're the best defense in the league, y'all need to do something.
They have to turn things around this year.
Yeah.
And that's why, the quarterback situation is still iffy. So I don't think for the fan base, they have to be great this year.
Sure.
But they have to see a lot out of Justin Fields. I would go ahead and start Justin Fields. I think he needs to just start him off the bat.
Yeah.
We know Andy Dalton is a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
At this stage of his career. He's
solid. He's
solid, which is good for a backup.
Yeah.
You want a solid quarterback to be your backup. So,
yeah. And with starting experience.
But I think for the first game, it might be good to hold out Justin Fields because of that defense in LA. 7.5 though.
Yeah.
I say they don't cover. I think
Okay.
it's gonna be a close game.
Okay.
Give me a field goal to win the game. Tied up, field goal to win the game.
Okay. All right. Last one. Here, hometown. At Allegiant, blacked out, all black, Raider black. Raiders versus the Ravens here in Las Vegas. Raiders are +4 dogs at home to have their first game in front of fans in Las Vegas.
It's good. Like being an underdog.
Yeah.
It's good. That's a good game to be the first game.
Yeah.
In Vegas in front of fans. Like I said, man, I'm giving the Raiders 12-5. So I think this is a good way to kick off the season.
Make a statement.
And make a statement and win this game against the Ravens, who are a little bit hurt.
A lot of it hurt.
Have a great quarterback. But I'm going with the Raiders, man. Let's go Vegas. Still weird to say Las Vegas Raiders. But.
Yeah, a little bit. I think if they sign Le'Veon Bell and they actually have a solid run game behind Lamar Jackson, I feel like it's gonna be tough on the Raiders.
Yeah.
+4, I feel like that's right. I feel like they might win by a field goal or win by a touchdown. So it'll be close enough, but it won't be it won't be a nail biter. I don't think.
I think we should get tickets to the game. Do you want to sell your car? I can sell mine, and then we can go to the game.
No, not at all.
All right,
it's not that serious.
Those ticket prices
are crazy, and that's why it's like I've got ways to get up in there. I'll find my way in there.
I hope,
especially for my team's game.
All right, are you playing this year?
Yeah, we play. I think it's like week 12.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will definitely be there for that one. Not even a question.
There you go. All right, what else we got before we close it out tonight?
Are we gonna finish up with the pop culture stuff?
Go ahead. What you got?
All right. The first thing, let me see here. We don't know if it's a fake quote. It's probably a fake quote.
It's a fake quote.
Fake quote?
Definitely.
Definitely fake quote?
Yeah.
All right, that's okay. The fake quote was coming from Kyrie Irving. Sometimes I wish that I never hit that shot, meaning the shot that he hit versus the Golden State Warriors in the finals in 2016.
And that was like, what have you done for LeBron's legacy?
Yeah.
And it was
yeah.
a fake meme, but we want to talk about that. So
Yeah.
what if he didn't hit that shot? What would that do to LeBron James' legacy in the NBA right now?
Sure. It shifts it.
Does that keep LeBron in Cleveland longer because he left because he won the championship
already
in Cleveland?
did. Yeah,
he gave
fulfilled
them what he wanted to do. He didn't have to do anymore. He only had to win one. But does that keep Kyrie in Cleveland longer because they didn't win it together?
Yeah.
And that was his chance to win it when he went to Boston. It wasn't as good of a chance. So,
Yeah.
and the Cavs still got to the finals without Kyrie.
Yeah.
So does Kyrie stay there? Do they win it the next year instead?
I think really not only does it affect LeBron's legacy, but it definitely affects Kevin Durant's, because the only reason that he comes to Golden State is because Golden State lost at 73-9. You know what I mean? Like if they win that championship and they've, I think that would have been back to back for them, or
it would have been.
It would have been
yeah.
back to back, and then they'd be going on to potentially win 3. It shifts the entire landscape of the league.
Yeah.
As you said, in terms of Kyrie staying possibly longer in Cleveland, LeBron staying possibly another year or so in Cleveland, it shifts everything. And I would say that the finals definitely would have been more competitive the following 2 years because Kevin Durant
wouldn't have been there because he wouldn't have went if they would have won, like you said, because that would look even stranger for him to be like, hey, they won. Let me go anyway. Let me go join them, even though we were up 3-1 and could have beat them.
Like, where does he go? Where does he stay?
Where does he go? Or does he stay in OKC?
Yeah,
Do him and Russ end up the next year finishing off that 3-1 and beating Golden State the next year?
That's
we
crazy.
don't know because Russ had a crazy year the next year.
That's crazy when you start to really pull it apart because, Kevin Durant left, but then that really unlocked Russell Westbrook, and he became a Hall of Fame player over these last 5 years. That maybe that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Maybe he's continued to be the sidekick and just great, but not triple-double great. And, that's a pretty interesting concept.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. It's just crazy that one move, when you think of things, could change like the whole history of what the NBA is and was. I mean, we've seen that throughout the history of the league, with things like that. But yeah, interesting.
Well, I had to put it out there because I saw that quote and I was like, that's actually a very intriguing, even if it's wrong, like even if it is fake, just that one thing did make a big deal.
But if you see that floating around the internet, Kyrie did not say, I wish I never hit that shot, because he knows that
Twitter would
that helped them win. Exactly, that helped them win the championship in a great series.
I don't want championships. What do you mean? Even if it did help LeBron. All right, and then sadly, the last thing I want to talk about was
on a sad note.
What? Yeah.
Was on a sad note. I'll find something else to end on a happy note.
All right. Well, the last thing that I had was a report that Jack Nicholson is living out his last days potentially at his mansion in LA. Jack is 84 now. They're saying that he possibly could have dementia. It was reported by Us Weekly, so take that for what it is. But just the thought of I didn't realize that Jack was 84. I didn't realize he was that up in age. So we're about to start losing kind of that generation of stars from Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, like all those kind of guys are gonna slowly start fading out here in the next few years, I think. Yeah,
it's sad seeing that, but he's lived a long life. I mean, being in his 80s already, that's I want to know something serious. Who got a seat at the Staples Center?
Oh God, nobody. They'll memorialize that seat.
Somebody's sitting there. That seat's not empty. Probably a family member or something, but that seat is not empty.
Those seats are willed. I'll tell you that much.
For real.
They are willed somewhere.
Other sad news, Sam Bam Cunningham passed away, former football player, USC, older brother of Randall Cunningham, played for the Patriots as well. Crazy because we just had him on one of the shows with Lawrence Weekly like 6 months ago in here in the studio. He Skyped in, so I got to meet him virtually on Skype, but, not sure how he passed away, but he did. He was in his 70s. So it's just weird. Like, you just talked to somebody and met them, and all of a sudden it's like they don't exist, but I could play the video and he's right there. So, shout out to the family and pray for the family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Other news real quick. Chris Webber said that they have apologized to him, the Michigan Wolverines,
like faculty
for some of the things that were said about him back in the day. So, the allegations and different things. So they've made amends. Does that mean, him and Jalen Rose kind of talked on one of the NBA shows a few months ago during this past season? Well, we see them come together more now because we've seen them, even Michigan being in the championship games. Chris Webber's way over there when everyone else from the alumni is over here, like talking to each other, and Webber's kind of been isolated from them, wasn't in the 30 for 30. So will we see him start coming around more and being more in touch with his teammates, former teammates?
I think so. I mean, we already saw the breaking of the ice with Jalen Rose. But with this whole NIL thing, man, I think a lot of people that were taboo or kind of untouchable, they're going to be brought back into the fold because they should have never been pushed to the side to begin with. All the money that's made off of these kids, the billions of dollars that's made off of these kids, to push people aside like, oh, you were a bad person, you took money, is ridiculous. So I hope so. And for him, I definitely hope so, because I know that he takes that stuff, personally. Like, most people would, but I know that he does take it personally.
Yeah, definitely. So, listen, man, the game's about to start in a little bit, man. So we're going to get to that and watch that. And, tune in every Monday and Thursday. The time varies whenever we start. So just follow us on social media so you guys know where we're at, when we're going to be on. So make sure you check that out. We have a lot of interviews, and you can check out, some of our interviews, like Xavier McDaniel that we had this month. We had Rick Barry this month. So go to the YouTube page, the Gorilla Cross YouTube page, and check those out. And we will be back next week on Monday. We'll bring one of the girls in here too. We miss them.
We do.
Peace.
I had to pray, I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot, I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe.